The first pilot that came down, he was Pops. Pops was a guy like your age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An old guy.
An old guy. That's what they call him, Pops. And he left from Texas, and he came and landed in a farm down on the coast of Guatemala. And he was really tired. But we had told the owner of the farm that Pops was a millionaire that coming from America that wanted to buy his land. Because the owner of the finca in Guatemala, where the strip was, did not know the reality. And in the night, in the middle of the night, when the owner of the finca was sleeping and everything, we all got up and loaded the wheat that we had hiding there.
Get out of here.
And then Pops left around 4 o'clock in the morning. And when the guy got up next day, he said, "Oh,
where's
Pops? I said, "No, he
went back home.
He didn't like the finca. He went home." But Pops by that time was already landing someplace in the middle of Texas. So I had many adventures related with drugs. Also not only growing them here, but going to buy them in Mexico, bringing them down here, sending them, all the methods that you can think of we used. I had an open road. You know what an open road is? It's a motor home.
Oh, okay.
And
Buenas tardes, vamos a ir allá, mira.
Vayan,
Cajero.
chicas. Okay, so an open road is a motor home. A big motor home that...
recreational vehicle,
yeah,
RV.
recreational. Yeah. And the drivers were 3 females from the Miami area. But they were really cool, you know. But on top of the open road, I had a small sailing vessel. I think it was called. Are you familiar with sailing vessels, small ones? No? You're not Chandler. Sailing vessels. Sailing boat.
Not a sailboat?
Yeah, but it's a small sailboat.
A Hobie cat?
No, the Hobie is 2.
Okay.
But this is just like one of the parts of a Hobie cat. But it was like maybe from here to that wall, man, like 4 meters.
Just like a dinghy?
Yeah,
emergency boat?
This is 4 meters, that would be 12 feet, 13 feet, 14
okay.
feet long.
Yeah, long.
That'd be bigger than a
and
dinghy.
like this thick, and it has it's just the deck. It's not
Okay.
you know, it's flat.
Okay.
So we made a fine cut of that, and we would fill that boat up with.
Oh, a skiff. The skiff.
The skiff, man,
Skiff.
but it has a special name. This one that you know, my memories already, as you know, with age things go. But
that pot.
yeah. that boat would go on the top of the
Mast?
of the open road.
Okay.
The motor.
Right, okay.
So the motorhome itself had nothing, no weed inside or anything, no purpose. But the boat on the roof was loaded up. I think like 500 pounds fitted inside that boat. So I used that several trips. I had guys come that dumped weed in the duffel bags, in the Bahamas. So almost all the methods of smuggling drugs, I used them. And after like 12 years, I got introduced into cocaine. But the way I got introduced into cocaine is a really strange way. Because I started dealing with Carlos. He was a Brazilian guy that lived in Miami. He came down to Guatemala with 2 Americans. They had a beautiful small aircraft, which is the biggest single-engine aircraft Cessna. And we would load it up with like 400 or 500 pounds of weed and take it up, and they would land in the Keys or whatever. So I would only get like 50% of the payment here of the loan, and I would have to travel to Miami to get the rest.
Now let me ask you
of
this,
payment.
George. When you made landings and you unloaded the pot and so on, and cocaine or whatever, but did you ever drop anything in the ocean?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you know the term, at least in Miami and in the Florida Keys, they use when people find a bale of marijuana in the water. It's called a square grouper. Because it's a bale of this nice and square, so it's named after a fish. A square grouper is a bale of pot that is washed up. Square grouper.
Square grouper.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so when one of those times that I went to charge to get my payment, Carlos was already the Miami guy, heavily into the cocaine business also. And at the time, so I got to meet, he had a nightclub in Miami. In reality, the nightclub belonged to this old Jewish guy. It was near Brickell Bay Avenue.
Brickell?
It was a very famous club. It's in my memory already.
Brickell, that sounds right. Brickell.
That's the name of the...
Yes, of the street.
Oh yeah, but the street was right near Brickell Avenue,
Yeah.
which is, there is a bunch of high-rises, beautiful neighborhood in Miami, and on the last floor, they had this big nightclub, a gigantic, beautiful, very, only Mercedes and things and limousines went over there. It was just extremely elegant. But I met some very interesting people there, because there was this Colombian lady. She was, had her hair dyed blonde. And her name was Marta Ochoa. And Marta Ochoa happens to be the sister of Fabio y all of the Ochoa family, the biggest dealers in the cartel of Medellin, the Ochoas.
Okay.
And she was living in Miami, and this time was the big change because